We're about to hit some emotional moments, so just letting you know, you probably will cry by the end of this video. You always see me talking about movies that have traumatized me, messed me up, and kind of ruined my childhood. Well, this is the movie that probably started it all. And by that, I mean, it's not a scary movie, nor is it a movie about horror. If anything, it's a children's movie. And this movie has one of the most heartbreaking scenes that I think nobody was ready for. And according to even science and therapists and child therapists, child psychologists, apparently this movie brings kids' stress levels to 100 after this scene. Like, this scene ruins everybody. And I'm talking about the Land Before Time scene. The one about Littlefoot and his mother. Yeah, I don't think we're ready to talk about this, but we're gonna talk about it because as a 90s kid, this is one of the first movies I saw, and this is one of the movies that I guess molded you into what we become. If you notice, a lot of 1992 kids, we all love horror, spooky, conspiracy theories, all this stuff. It's because this movie kind of desensitized us to everything. Now, The Land Before Time is a movie about Littlefoot, which is a long-necked dinosaur that becomes friends with a bunch of other dinosaurs, and their journey is to get to the Great Valley. But in order to get there, they go through a lot of adventures, a lot of upsets and circumstances. But before even that starts, you know, like the first 10 minutes of the movie, we meet Littlefoot and his mother, and you see how they built this amazing relationship. You see how they built this amazing connection for all of it to be taken away. Before I continue, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to his YouTube channel. I'm just excited to talk about this movie. I never thought I would talk about this movie, but here we are. Go grab some coffee, go grab some snacks, and turn down the lights, and let's get a little emotional today on our episode. Yeah. Okay, Leo, don't cry. Don't cry, Leo, don't cry. In my opinion, this movie is a masterpiece. This movie is a freaking masterpiece. 1988, The Land Before Time, distributed by Universal Pictures. And not only that, Steven Spielberg and George Lucas were executive producers on this movie. So you knew that this movie was gonna be a banger. Now, there are a bunch of other sequels that we don't really talk about. I think as a kid growing up, I might have had the first 5 sequels on VHS cassettes, but from there on out, I don't know what happened to them. Like they just started producing a bunch of sequels. But you know what? It was a banger. It was a banger of a movie. So in the beginning of the movie, there's this scene where Littlefoot starts to play with a frog, and the frog goes to this one place, and then Sarah, who is a triceratop, goes and starts playing all this stuff, and all of a sudden they run into Sharktooth, which is a Tyrannosaurus Rex, if I'm not mistaken. It's the big scary monster known as Sharktooth. Shark bait, hoo-ha. Sharktooth starts attacking him, and these two dinosaurs are running away. Sarah and Littlefoot are just running away, trying to, maneuver their ways around it, which I didn't know this, but apparently this scene was considered one of the most scariest scenes of the movie's franchise, and they had to tone it down. They had to reverse clips, they had to remove certain scenes because it brought so much stress to kids and even to adults.
No way!
I mean, that's crazy because I didn't know none of this stuff, but wow. So right when you thought these kids are gonna be eaten by Sharktooth, Littlefoot's mom comes in and intervenes and starts fighting Sharktooth. Now, the dinosaurs go away, they start running, and you just see this action-packed scene. It's just going back and forth between Littlefoot's mom and Sharktooth. And all of a sudden, there's an earth shake, there's an earthquake. Tectonic plates start moving, mountains start to separate, valleys start to shake, ground start to, split, all this stuff. I don't know if it was Pangea, or I don't know what the hell was happening. I don't know if it was the first earthquake ever, but this is a movie based on dinosaurs, so it's pretty prehistoric to our time. Once everything stops to separate and shake, it gets emotional. I'm just letting you guys know this right now. Like, viewer discretion might be advised because you might cry. Littlefoot goes around looking for his mom, and he finds his mom.
Mother!
And the dialogue that happens between Littlefoot and his mom, oh my goodness.
Dear sweet Littlefoot, do you remember the way to the Great Valley?
I guess so. But why do I have to know you're gonna be with me?
I'll be with you, even if you can't see me.
What do you mean if I can't see you?
Fortunately, Littlefoot's mom does not make it. Mother does not make it.
Littlefoot, let your heart guide you. It whispers, so listen closely.
And and you are a 5-year-old kid watching this, you are a mess, you are destroyed, you don't know what to do, you don't know what to say, you know, you have knots in your throat, you want to cry, you don't, like, it's the first time maybe as a kid you feel so much emotion.
Mother? Mother?
And as an adult, I was, as I was doing research around this script, like, oh my goodness, I did not know if I wanted to cry or scream because I just felt so much emotion. And my nieces are turning 9 this year. And I told my sisters, like, look, they need to watch this movie because it's a rite of passage. Because, you know, woo, yeah, like this movie is, you need to have a strong stomach for this scene. And I think the one thing that just ruins me is like Littlefoot's mom says, like, listen to your heart, it whispers, so listen closely. And you're just like, oh. And then Littlefoot is just destroyed, distraught, to the point where he starts to blame his mom for her death and all this stuff. And then Littlefoot runs into another dinosaur, which what's his name? It's like your neighborhood crackhead dinosaur, Rooter. His name is Rooter. What kind of okay? Littlefoot runs into Rooter. Rooter gives him life about the circle of life. Wait, wrong movie. The Great Circle, as they call it in The Land Before Time.
What's your problem? You're not hurt.
Not fair. She should have known better.
That, you know, it's just the start of the Great Circle, and we know that it's just one big circle. But they're dinosaurs. What do they know? They're gonna be fossil fuel. They're gonna be gas. They're gonna be gas in my car in a couple of millions of years. Now, that's not the scene that ruined me. At least. The next scene though is what ruined me and continues to ruin me. And when people ask me, what is the saddest movie scene you've ever seen? Or what is the one movie scene that to this day might make you cry or makes you cry? I will talk about this scene. And as Littlefoot's walking down this valley and he sees the shadow of a long neck on this rock and he's like, Mother. And he's like, mother, and he's excited. And he's like, oh my gosh, like he has glee in his eyes. He's like, oh my God, it's my mom. I am excited. Starts running down the hill, running down towards this wall of a long neck. But as closer as he gets, he starts to realize that the shadow gets smaller, smaller, smaller and becomes his size.
Wait, Mother! Wait!
And the sad part is like he's so excited because he's like, oh, Mother, like, yes, like that's my mom, she's alive. And he starts licking the rock and all this stuff, and it turns out it was just his shadow. Oh, it's just rough. That scene is rough. Now, the movie continues, and eventually they make it to the Great Valley, and everybody meets up with their grandparents, their family, and it's a happily ever after. But that scene of Littlefoot and his mother will forever stay in our hearts. Emotional, sad, I don't know what else to say. It's, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. As a kid, it brought so much emotion. As an adult, it brings even more emotion. All right, I'm gonna finish this episode right here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. It's a little different. It's not spooky, it's not horror, but it's nostalgia based, which is something that I always love to do, is talk about things that bring me nostalgia, especially if you're in that around that 90s era phase. Even though this movie did not come in the 90s, most of us saw it in the 90s because we were kids. Yeah. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Go ahead and check out Top Flight Pins to get all your pins and all your cool things. Link down below. And I'll see you guys in another episode. I'm actually in the middle of writing a script for another spooky episode. Now, the next one's gonna be a spooky one. All right, guys. Love you. God bless. See you guys. Bye.